the city of the sun. You could have stayed, it's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New. Yeah.
Boom.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shade my smile.
Today is November 30th, 2021. It's 4:02 right now. So I had to go back to make sure my screen was being recorded properly. So this is the last prayer that I was doing, and the last prayer was for William to whatever he's blind by, to get out of it. All right, so let's continue. Let's go back to Twitter, see what's going on. Alright, this was the last tweet that I did, is on the last video. Alright, next tweet. Okay, at Richard Aiden, why are you lying? Harry and Meghan did not reject a home already prepared for them at Kensington Palace. So I'm assuming these are some people who were watching The Princess and the Press and were tweeting about it as they were watching. So that was yesterday tweet. Right, The Prince and the Press. It said that people in England don't realize how they're being manipulated by the English press. They sell them whatever narrative they want, and the English always fall for it. Hook, line and sinker. What is it? When I started covering Harry and Meghan, I'm so happy that I went so far back where I had to create some videos for you guys and what I was finding, because I wasn't really too much into the royal. It's one of those, you know, they exist, but not so much. You're not really following them like religious. I knew Megan existed, didn't really follow her that much. So I went back to educate myself. Within that small little education, I came across where, what is it? The royals, the press have been doing this since the 1800s. Okay, anybody's new? There's a video that I have, I forgot what I call it, where I discuss about how the press came about, and there's video clips from different places and all of that. Go watch it. So I don't want to waste too much time here explaining. All right, so they've been doing this for a very long time. All right, so let's continue. All right, so when traveling on the royal tour, okay, she did this. She's retweeting people. It's a long thread. Let me go into this. So she started here why he is lying. Okay, so she retweeted that. The Prince and the Press. It said that people England don't realize how they're being manipulated by the press. Let's see what some people are saying in that, and then I'll come back out. Or is it just that? Okay, they know exactly what is happening. They just don't care because it isn't them personally, and it gives them someone to thumb their nose at. That's another way of looking at it. Okay, not all the English. If the media said it was snowing, I'll go outside to verify. Okay, I don't believe it is all English. You know, believe me, from the outside, I used to think that. I used to think it's all of them. I used to think it's all of the Brits or all like that. As I look further into, it's not. It's not all of them. Uh, and I should have known better too for thinking that way. I should have known better too, because look at when Trump was in office. You thought it would be all the U.S. who think that way, but it's not. All right, so we need to always differentiate what we're seeing on the tabloid and all of that. But I guess for me, the reason that I thought that, because I didn't come across anyone who was doing the pushback or defending Meghan, this kind of stuff in the UK. But as I move forward, I could understand why also. Okay, why they don't do that. Because if you have family, kids, and all of that, certain things you just be careful. But I have to okay, pray God to forgive me for originally thinking that way, because as I get deeper into some of those issues, I understand. And a lot of time, as I started to realize some of these things, and then I said them on my videos, and I apologize to some of those people, for the good ones, the one with the good mind, okay, who were doing their own little fight that we were not hearing about because they didn't have the mic. Okay, so I have to apologize to these people for putting them under the same umbrella as everyone else. And it's through that I came across, what's her name? Dr. Shola. All right, the squad were tweeting about her. She's one of the fighter. All right, I always think of her as the nameless person. I don't want to mention his name on my channel anymore. She is his kryptonite. All right, you know how Superman, the kryptonite, he can't deal with that, as powerful and strong as Superman is. But once you put the kryptonite in front of him, he's a nobody. So that's Dr. Shola for that nameless person. So I really have to apologize to some of the good Brits who did not have the mic and who were doing their own fight that we were not hearing about. All right, so I have to apologize. So it's not all. As I move forward, I realize that. All right, let me read a few one and then go back to the thread. Okay, I don't believe it's all English, but the problem is the Daily Fair is the largest selling paper in the UK. And the thing is that the people who keeps on buying it to keep them alive. There was a tweet that I come across. I hope I found it. The tweet was saying, I think it was what's his name? Brian Capecott who tweeted it. Let me see if I could find it. It was maybe 2 tweets ago that squad prayers, love always win. Damn. Where did I see it? Oh shit. I really want to share it with you right now because this is when the thought is in my head. Okay. When we're number EU, return 100. Shit. Is it that one? The EU returned many hundred of asylum seekers. Okay. It was something that maybe I did mention it in one of the videos already. It's where Johnson's sister was talking about how the Daily Mail, who's the owner of the Daily Mail? I forgot. Who told her, the PM, the Prime Minister, to get rid of the BBC. In one of my videos, and I remember talking about it. Okay, it's something Brian Capecord had shared. Okay, I'm wasting time. I can't find that tweet. But where he was saying that how did that happen in terms of who wanted to get rid of the BBC, this kind of thing. Okay, let me just move on. Forget it. Because it was a planning thing to move people from the BBC to the new channel that was going on. I may have talked about it in one of my videos. I don't remember which video. Okay, let's see. Another tweet. Okay, there's part of this. This is what Meghan said. Okay, 45 seconds.
What do they really want when it comes to privacy?
It's not them who have said they want privacy. It's something that the tabloids have said about them that's latched on.
Okay, Meghan had said it in the Oprah interview. She said she never talked about privacy. And then there's her lawyer who's speaking, saying it's not them. Meghan have worked with the tabloid. I've showed pictures of videos of her giving what is it? Signing autograph and going on her day in a life with the tabloid and all of that. So Meghan know how to work with the tabloid, and this is why I've said this is why Diana sent Meghan to this royal family to work the boys. Okay, one saw it, the other one did not see. Meghan never said anything about privacy. All right, let's continue. I have to stop. Okay, I've been flagging a lot from this. All right, let's hear it a little bit more.
They have taken steps when there have been blatant violations, unlawful violations of privacy. Of course, then they've challenged it because that's in line with their values. But that doesn't mean just because you assert your human rights that you then become some kind of Trappist monk and take a vow of silence and you're not allowed to discuss anything. That's not how privacy works. Privacy is about the right to own and control what personal information you choose to share with somebody.
Bingo! She's brilliant. She's brilliant. Yeah, and this is what Harry has been saying since he was a teen. Since he was a teen.
Unfortunately, every single story was complete lies, which is rarely, well, which it always is, basically, which is a shame. But
you ever wanted to do a column in the newspaper? But
I'd love to do a column in the newspaper. You know, article, right? This is what happened last night. No, this is what happened.
Chance my arm. Let me chance my arm with a cheeky question. A bit like your mother, you are pursued every minute of every day by lots of people trying to take photographs, videoing, recording what you're saying, pushing. How can you possibly have a private life?
Cheeky question. You're right. That is a cheeky question. But Andrew, to be honest with you, sadly, that line between public and private life is almost non-existent anymage, and we will continue to do our best to ensure that there is the line. You know, we are completely aware that we're in a very privileged position, and I will spend the rest of my life, you know, earning that privilege and trying to bring a spotlight onto things and causes that really matter to me, and I hopefully matter to a lot of other people as well. Everyone has a right to their privacy, and you know, a lot of the members of the public get it, but sadly in some areas there is this sort of incessant need to find out every little bit of detail about what goes on behind the scenes. It's unnecessary. You know, I hope that people get to see me here in this Invictus role, you know, cracking on with the guys and mucking in and having a good time with them. And this is half my official role, but half my private role. This is what I enjoy doing, but the private life has to be private, and I hope people respect that.
He's been saying that. And Meghan also have said she share with you what she wants to share with you. Even when she was not even married to Harry. Okay? She shared a lot of stuff with the squad, and this is why the squad following her. She shared a good part of things that she does. But what do these people expect? And this is how Meghan said she thought that things would be fair. They want to control her life. And she's like, no, you're not going to control my life. I'm going to share with you what I want to share with you. And then when I say stop, that means stop. Harry has been saying it for a long time. Like, there have to be a borderline. No. Okay? Let's see here. Not to mention, they said, we want to be able to talk to non-royal voters about issues we care about. And the royal voter responded by bullying them and pushing a narrative that they wanted sycophant press coverage. Okay, who is this? Meghan's lawyer. Okay, who is the queen? I love her. Okay, there's the clap. The British media may speak English, but they have zero comprehension skills. That is true. Spot on. The media are the ones that made up this privacy BS, and the hateful British tabloid lapped that up and used it as a weapon at every opportunity. That is true. All right, so this one was quick. Let's go to the next one. Privacy is about, okay, the right to own and control what personal information you choose to share with somebody. And then in one of those tweets, I remember retweeting saying that this is the squad have been, when the Rangers are talking about it, the squad keep on giving them literally screenshot of meaning of privacy. The squad been doing their homework for Meghan, been fighting the fighting. All right, now everything is coming to light. Okay, preach, honey, sweetheart. All right, privacy, say it loud for the folks and overflow. All right, there's this. Cheers. Okay, is that simple? Louder. Okay, there's the squad. All right, she retweeted the same thing. All right, I didn't even need to play the video again. All right, next tweet, and I think that's why I put it right next to each other. Okay, BBC gave the same opportunity to the palace as they did to the Sussexes. All right, so in other words, this is the last tweet that you saw the video is Meghan's lawyer talking in her behalf. So BBC gave the palace the same opportunity, bring someone to talk on your behalf. They didn't do it. What they wanted to see the video, the entire thing first, then they could discuss it. All right, to tell them, to dictate to them what you should do with that. The BBC said nope. All right, let's see here. The BBC Two series come amid wider disquiet between the corporation and the royal following the scandal over Martin Bashir Panorama interview with Diana, Princess of Wales, which Prince William condemned earlier this year as deceitful. And in producing Regent's series, the BBC approached all three households. Right? So you see, so that was a preemptive by BBC to say, we're gonna do that documentary. Please, if you want to send someone to talk on your behalf, send it, because we're not gonna make a mistake here. I'm glad they've hold their foot down. And that other thing that I came across, where if I come across before I edit this, I'll insert it here, where I came across an article from Brian Capecourt. That's the real journalist in the UK. And it was like, what did I hear? And then through that, it was a video of Bojo's sister giving I guess a speech where she said, and they cut the clip where whoever owned the tabloid company and says something about to get rid of the BBC, because that cutting about his bread and butter, he's hungry or some crap like that. And this is why the narrative of going after the BBC kind of thing starts sparkling to get rid of the BBC. Okay, and before I came across that article, and I was talking about it, and I was like, and I think I bring about how Trump was going out about the NPR, this public broadcasting, and all of that. It was a campaign to get rid of the BBC, and then to put the new channel that was coming out. Alright, so let me finish with this. Okay, and producing Regent's series, the BBC approached all three households for comment and offered them the opportunity to put up a representative to be interviewed. They each turned down the offer on the basis that they were not giving enough information about the allegation being made and who was making them. All right?
Aides believe they were not giving a quote proper right of reply and quote insist that they will never issue a response to such scant unsourced information. One brushed off the first episode as a quote greatest hit of the stories already written and quote that the palace had never commented on in the first place. By contrast, the Duchess of Sussex authorized her lawyer, Jenna Afia, to defend her against the accusation of bullying former staff and to discuss her recent court case against the Mail on Sunday.
This is what smart people do. They give it to them, they give them the opportunity, they say no. And then now, all of a sudden, when the thing is about to air, we want to see the documentary. What do they say about me? No, they give you something to be part of the documentary. You didn't want to. My goodness, these are freaking dumb people. All right, so all of this nonsense about right of reply was made up by the British media. Quite surprise. Thing is, they do not see that opportunity for response as fair. To them, fair is having the palace review and edit the documentary before it published. That is the opportunity for response they are used to, and that is what they expect and demanded. Believe me, they're gonna have a really meltdown if they go republic, if the UK go republic. Okay, they wanted to be able to edit and ban certain people like they had ITV remove Scobie on the other documentary. This is just a big tantrum by Bullion because they haven't jumped at his comment. All right, the royal family had the same opportunity to comment as the Sussexes had. They did not turn down the right of rebuttal because they did not have enough information. Because of their arrogance, they got into snit because they were not allowed to edit the program in their favor. Okay, all information from royal reporters that were interviewed came from the palace itself. What's to defend or why respond to that? It will only prove the palace are the ones leaking these stories. The Sussex is only trying to defend their own. All right, let's see here. The royal family has no defense. That is true because all this nonsense that is happening, they created it. It didn't have to, but they felt the right to do that because they don't know peace. All right, they only want to edit out the bits that made them look bad. The problem was the whole thing exposed them and made them look bad. Okay, today will be Meghan bashing, so don't worry. Okay, doesn't look like it. Okay, greatest hit, they personally leak, but okay. Only people with something to hide will respond this arrogantly. My goodness, there's a rolling eye. No one else is to be the doc about what the documentary is about. Okay, it's the second episode tonight. All right, so this was written before. Let's do one more tweet. I'm almost an hour. Okay. I don't understand why William, Charles, and Buckingham Palace were so furious about this perfectly inaccurate documentary, but I realize now that they're so used to being put on a pedestal that anything short of psychopathy must feel like a brutal attack. Okay, because he did everything but said KP was briefing against Harry and Meghan. He asked Low, okay. He asked why it took 2 years to accuse Meghan. Was it because they wanted to hit before Oprah? How did Dummy get the info about Harry and Meghan leaving? Knuff work with the fail against Meghan. Okay, he pointed this stuff out without saying KP did it. All right, this is what happened when they're interviewing them in a good space. Okay, have the interview happen like a conversation. All right, they spill the bean without even knowing. So I'm glad this guy, the documentary, come after the Oprah, because if it was before, people would have said otherwise. That the the Sussexes were doing, they know how to spend stuff. Okay, sometimes people in this instance, member of the royal family, just get fed up with lies. Okay, if the royal family are fed up with lies, why do they happily collaborate with tabloid and sometimes even write articles or front pages for them? Exactly what was said in the documentary that was so offensive compared to what the Daily Mail writes regularly. Okay, let's see here. Why is it so quiet? There's a GIF for everything. Okay, why the royal voter why the royal water of all people will participate in a documentary and discuss what they actually do. Okay, because they were doing it during the time frame that KP wanted it made clear that no one ever liked her from the beginning. Remember all those leaks about what they call Meghan around the time Lacey
Epilogue.
came out. Okay, I'm wondering, and the documentary was all about the BBC putting William back in his box. Telling him that we have dirt on you and you don't get to throw us under the bus, lad. Do it again and we'll come for you big time. I've said something like that, especially after what he did with the Martin Bashir thing. If that was their aim, it was a peaceful attempt at a threat. All I saw was a BBC that cannot stand up to power in this country. Okay, this was nothing burger. Okay, if you think so, but it still hurt the royal that maybe some people who have a brain in the UK can piece things together. That's true. I mean, just know it's a way of leverage things. Agree, it was rather vanilla, unless of course you always used to be held as the greatest thing on earth. This is the thing here. This then favored them, even though from my understanding it was a fairly reported kind of documentary. That's it, it was fairly, but for them things always under their control, how they want people to see them. That's the thing here, how they want people to see them. This is what they didn't get. So no matter how anybody else, me, you, or anybody else say, it's a huge blow to them. Okay, because they didn't get it the way that they want. So that's a problem to them. And then it's happening more and more as other people, other countries are seeing it for what it is. Okay, I think so. And look at what in video 1 I talk about Barbados, who's becoming a republic and all of that. All right, so it's step by step, because if Barbados then see what was happening to Meghan, do you think they will take that step? And within that, there's other branches of it. All right, I'm just focusing here just on the part how the media was treating Meghan to give the ripple effect of Barbados to take the proper step. All right, just this part, because there's so many branches attached to that. It's bigger than what it is. All right, they weren't prepared Meghan will stand up for herself. They thought they were doing a favor to her and she'll stay quiet or live quietly, and boom, she stood up strong, tall, a woman lioness. Okay, look, you guys, anybody who's new, I removed that video on my other channel. All right, I have a video, what did I call it? The illusion. Go look at it. All right, it's a huge part. It has different little parts here and there. Go look at it. they saw a little kitty that's coming, but what they got is a lioness. Okay, they never, just because someone in front of you show politeness, show respectful, do all of that, and then once you disrespect them, they're not getting that same kind of return. Okay, they could go as savage or even worse than you think you are. All right, so that's one thing you could learn that from what's going on with the Sussexes here. All right, okay. When you used to privilege, equality feels like oppression. That is true. They can still suck it though. Okay, change has no favor. They will suck it up by force. By fire, change has no privilege. Okay, they should all get a job at Tesco. The lot William, Charles, Kate, Tom. Okay, Tomovi, what is it? Kamari woman. Okay, once Charles is king, the press will likely start calling for William to be skipped in favor of George. Can you imagine that? Oh my God, that would be a gold mine for what is it, for her grandmother? What is it, Kate's mom? Okay, when Charles goes, okay, they want another young monarch like Elizabeth, who was in her 20s when she became queen. Okay, it will be great karma for him. Okay, hopefully it doesn't even get there. People just leave. All right, let's see. I was one of those people until I left the country and saw exactly what I was being peddled whilst younger. Now I realize the reality. All right, when they are used to having every move glorified and the term, quote, you know, he will be king, end quote, and, quote again, she will be queen, not queen consort, praise upon them all the time, even the slightest change and tone seemed harsh to them, even scared of their own shadow in the press. Okay, or that, quote, they're being dressed down, and quote, any situation where they're dealt with as equal feel like demotion and insult, and it's set off incandescent by the royal gallant and the perceived, quote, low then, and quote, ranking someone has the worst. The reaction, Diana was one, but Meghan worse. Okay, only a few survive it. Boom. Okay, I can't see this. Did I black it? You're unable to see it because this account only limit. Okay, so this account don't allow me to see it. Not me blacking it. All right, I'm on hour now. Pagan, when you have something to hide, okay, anything that you are not able to stage the narrative will conjure up sheer paranoia on their path. Okay, at least they are giving more publicity to the documentary. Clearly haven't heard of the Streisand effect. Okay, yeah, it's pretty neutral stuff. Okay, the document did not go far enough. I still think the press has a lot more on the royal family, but time will tell. So happy Harry and Meghan or happy in the US. All right, so that, oh, let me finish it. Okay, and the US. Okay, agree. I think they held back. I certainly think they could have gone much further. I think I addressed this a while back, and maybe where at least they have to start somewhere. Maybe it will generate for him to do another documentary to focus on something that he found while doing this documentary. So yeah, I mean, if me, you, or this person who felt like they didn't go far enough, create your own. Do another documentary where you think it should go further. All right, let's see here. I haven't seen it yet. Is it on YouTube? Still on BBC, where I only get BBC News. Okay, on. All right, maybe it's because they seem to be representative for Harry and Meghan, but they weren't giving the same courtesy. No, we read that they did. They just turned it down. This person probably didn't see the tweet that I came across. Okay, neither were the reporters giving a voice after their report would talk about fair, and all that. But they give them, I mean, if you're going to say something, make sure it's truthful. If they already said it, what they have to refute? Now that people see it for what it is, now they need to take it back. Okay, I think it was jealousy and a need to control. Why on earth should grown adults be allowed an opinion? Why? The other world exists seemingly keeping their opinion to themselves, which makes them pointless. Okay, can anyone post a link so we can watch the second part? Did BBC edit out the appease KP? 100% well said. Those of us who've been watching the drama and are astute know this documentary doesn't even scratch the surface. Even time it picks on the thread, it touches it but never seeks to unravel the thread. I find it too subtle for stupid Brit who don't know how to infer from information. But yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes, many of the squad who are saying they didn't go far enough. I understand that. but at least it's something. Okay, let's just say for what it is now. At least it's something that is reporting fairly, I think, from some of the clips that I see. Okay, I didn't see the whole thing. From my humble opinion, at least is presenting it on a silver platter fairly. It did not take any side. They asked the royal family, all three households, to bring their representative to say something. They did not do it. But when they offered to the Sussexes, they did. So you get to hear the side of Meghan's lawyer, how she spoke on her behalf. All right. So at least this is presented fairly in a way. We could judge ourselves, and then later on, maybe something more could come out. All right. I have more, but what I have to do here, I have to wake up my son. I need to spend at least an hour to study with him. And while he's brushing his teeth, get himself ready, I'll come and edit, give them breakfast, and all of that. Let's do a prayer though. All right, let's do a prayer for let's see here. To see the light. Let's say prayer. I like to start from this page and then I'll come here to get image. Prayer to see the light. All right. Let's see here. Prayer for the mind and soul to see the light. Okay. All right, so there's this here. I like when there's a small little prayer at the corner here and then go to the image and get another prayer. So this usually sums up everything of whatever I search. Okay, give me the strength and clarity of mind to find my purpose and walk the path you've laid out for me. I trust your love, God, and know that you will heal the stress just as the sun rises each day against the dark of night. Please bring me clarity with the light of God. All right, so that's for all of us, Sussex Squad. Every time we wake up, we want to see the light of God. That's what we want to see. Nothing, that shield, that powerful force to God embrace us with that. So whenever negativity comes, to bounce off, go back to its senders. We do not need negativity in our lives. All right, so now let's look for a picture. All right, this is telling me this. I sort of want to read this, but I move this 1, 2, and 3. This 3. All right. Prayer for wisdom, light for the way prayer. Dear Lord, I am praying for some light today. I know that you are the source of light. You are the very light giver. Please lighten my path so that I can tread lightly. I don't want to get lost and I don't want to get sidetracked. Okay, I know I always have sidetrack on my editing part, but in life, we want to go straight to the path that God wants us. This is my insert here. We do not want any sidetrack where the evil people are disrupting us, our path. This is where there's that magnet in the center. God wants us to go straight to that magnet, but we have evil who's putting blockage after blockage to prevent us to go to that magnet, that the center that God wanted us to be. This is it. Okay, this is it. Before I was saying it in my own way, but this prayer here is saying it perfectly for me here. All right, so let's continue with the prayer. Keep me on track by illuminating my every step. Shine your light over my thoughts as you help me navigate my life and decision in the right direction. Amen. So that's prayer number 1. Okay, sometime when I feel it, I gotta do it. All right, that's the second one. A prayer for banishing fear and anxiety. Lord, I come before you ready to pour out my worries, anxieties, and fear at your feet. I am claiming and declaring your promises for blessing of peace and strength over my life. Bring a peace into my soul that passes all worldly understanding and make me a light for others to see your strength. And I'm glad I'm coming across those. There was a comment that I saw in one of my comment section, and as I was reading her comment, I don't know what come over me. Like I think the comment was about, do you think that I'm paraphrasing now? Do you think that the haters are reporting you to YouTube, and this is why you're having some issues with your channel? As I was reading that, I don't know what got into me. I felt like a huge calmness in my body. I don't know why. And I think I even typed it in the comment, in the response to that comment. And I said, I don't know why. As I'm reading your comment, I felt such a peaceful thing go in my body. Because I didn't care. I didn't care if they report my channel. If as long I'm not spreading hate, okay, I'm okay with it. Whether my channel grow, it doesn't grow. I'm in peace with myself, with what I feel like I should share with you. And that channel was not gonna go in this direction. It was once in a while you would get a tweet here and there. If I come across some funny tweets or something like that, that's all my channel was gonna be, and occasionally some research video or whatever. And my backup channel was supposed to do the same, but it hasn't. And I removed some videos. If you go there, you're gonna see a lot of videos removed. All right, because now it reached certain amount threshold, I need to remove them. But to get back to that comment, that peacefulness that went in my body reading that comment, I was okay whether they report it. Okay, so now if YouTube decided to do something about my channel, they need to tell me what it is that is wrong. Okay, because I am not going in the path of hate. When you have kids, life goes on after you're gone. So if that small of negativity that I see going in my lifetime, and I could see it could get worse, why I would want to spread hate for it to continue for my children? It's the same saying that Harry was saying about his father. If you are going through pain, why do you want me to experience the same pain that you went through? Okay, it's the same kind of thing here. Not exactly, but pretty much the same. All right, so in my lifetime, I'm seeing negativity going on, all this stuff going on. So if I have a platform, I don't want to spread negativity. Whether my channel go really quickly or it takes a lifetime to go, I don't care. Some of you who benefit from it, when you read, when you listen to some of my prayers, you feel the prayer in your soul. That's good enough for me. Because as you move forward and interact with other people, you're spreading that same positivity. You're mindful. Your spirit is pure from listening to what it is that I'm sharing, however it affects you. Okay, because I'm trying my best not to spread hate. Some of the comments show hate because some of you say, why am I reading it? But sometimes I feel like I need to read the negative comment to see where the reaction of some other comments that I read. Okay, so I can't just read the good. So you need to know where the good comment is coming out of. This is why I read some of the negative. And then after that, I block them so I don't need to come across them. But this is the thing here. All right, let me read the third one. And I really need to wake up my kids. And I need to study with my youngest. Okay, a prayer for inner peace and strength. I didn't even know this week. I just know I look at the picture. I should read 1, 2, and 3. Now, this is the thing that I was talking about. Okay, a prayer for inner peace and strength. This is that inner peace that I felt reading that comment. All right. Lord, I come before you, ready to pour out my worries, anxiety, and fear at your feet. I am claiming and declaring your promises for blessing of peace and strength over my life. Bring a peace into my soul that passes all worldly understanding and make me a light for others to see your strength. All right, it's almost the same thing as the other one. So that's it. I really gotta go. There's more tweet. I'm probably gonna create a different videos another time. All right, with some of the tweet that I have to share with you today. But I need to go. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. You wanna donate? PayPal link in the description, and do all the good stuff. Like, share, subscribe, and all of that. Thanks for watching.